There you go. That's so much for a fade.
Oh my gosh.
Hello.
That's horrible.
And surprise. Hey, it's the Ron Ross Radio Show podcast. Woohoo! For Thursday, May 16th, just after 7 p.m. Eastern. And that is, I don't know, what is that, like 5?
Are we doing the time thing again?
4 Pacific. No, I'm talking about Pacific. Okay. I'm talking about U.S. time zones, John.
Okay, great.
How you doing? I'm Ron. That dude over there is John Yaglinski, who is my cohort in crime, the executive producer, and my partner here on the podcast, who is he and I have gotten into a little bit of a tussle about time zones.
Well, I mean,
me. I was correct, and you did not admit it.
Ron is brutal when he is right. Let me just tell you.
Which has never happened. I remember doing that one time with my boss, Neil O'Brien, back in the day. And every time I said something, I'm like, no, I think he goes, hey, remember that time I was right? And I'm like, all right, relax, dude.
Well, I'm going to have to do that with you.
Yeah, please do that. Please.
Hey, it's a late time, speaking of time right now, so if you can just hit that little share thing and share it to your socials so that people
know pretty please with sugar on top. I appreciate that would be fantastic. Thank you so much. And we appreciate you hanging out with us for the video portion of us of this, and if you're listening to it wherever you get your podcast, thanks again for joining us. And following us on now, if you want to watch the video component, you can watch that on Facebook Live, and also we are on YouTube. We have our own YouTube channel too, so make sure you follow us and subscribe and mash buttons and like and all of that stuff, please. That would be fantastic. And collect them and trade them with your friends. So John's got a lot of work and travel and all that stuff, so that's why we had to move it. And then we just decided to surprise, let's do a podcast. Here it is. Boom. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And as you can see, John's got a Time Life Operator headphones on. So that means that he is in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, for work. And then this is the first week of 6 weeks of travel for you, Johnny?
Something like that. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I guess.
Next.
Here's the thing. I wish you smooth traveling on the planes and no delays and weather delays and blah, blah. You never know. But at least it's not the winter. That's the thing that always cracked me up about the winter, especially about like Thanksgiving, where, and I always contended this, and I heard a comedian do it, but it's like people are sitting in Chicago O'Hare Airport on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and they're shocked.
Oh, the airport is closed
because of the snow. They're surprised. Like,
right.
What are you talking about? Why? But at least now the thing you have is thunderstorms.
Right. And this is why you fly out. So if you're an experienced traveler, you fly out in the morning, not late in the day.
Yes, right. When the thunderstorms roll through.
They roll through, and the delays from the day stack up. So in other words, if a plane is flying a route, let's say they go from DC to Hilton Head, back to DC, back to Hilton Head, back to DC, and that's their route throughout the day. If they incur delays anywhere along there, then guess what? At some point, you're going to be delayed. So fly out in the morning, folks.
I love it. Oh, look at that. Important travel tips from John.
The more you know.
The more you know. Pardon me.
It's true.
So, hey, my cough is cleared up, and I've been on, and I was on an antibiotic for a while, but now it's almost 100% gone. So that's good.
So what was it? Was it that walking pneumonia thing?
It was not pneumonia and the boogie woogie flu. No, I went in to get a chest x-ray, and I was walking on eggshells with that, waiting for the because I was a smoker. And of course, the first thing my brain goes to is like, oh no, here we go. But the thing I had going for me is the is my doctor said, well, you've lost some weight. You've lost like 15 pounds. And she said, have you been trying to? And I'm like, yes, I have been trying to. And she goes, okay,
Oh,
good. Because if you hadn't, that would have been an issue. And I'm like, okay, good. Well, so I
yeah,
had that
losing
going
weight
for
for
me.
no reason is a bad.
Right, right, exactly.
Yeah.
But the cough was just brutal. And I felt like I cracked a rib once because I was just coughing. So, and I would get into these fits.
Yeah.
And, but anyway, went and did the chest x-ray. And, so there was no pneumonia. So no fluid in the lungs and no, other areas of concern.
Well, good. Yeah. Yay.
That was, yeah. And then not only that, but it didn't even have the radiologist call me back. The radiologist contacted my primary care and she gave it to a nurse. So the nurse was just reading, so wanted me to call you and tell you that blah, blah, blah. And she's just reading. And I'm like sitting here like,
Yes.
okay, no errors. Okay. Which I'm assuming since it was good news, that's why they gave it to the nurse in order to call me.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
was
I
rough
have
going there
relief.
for a little while.
Yeah.
Rough going. Now I mentioned I lost weight and I continue to lose weight. However, we had the greatest wife ever and I, we had a bad weekend. We had a cheat weekend that was bad, but I don't regret it at all. I don't regret it at all. We went out Saturday. I had to a friend of mine. Well, Jason, his band
Yes.
Crash the Limo asked me to run sound for them,
Hmm.
be the front of the house sound engineer, and it was an outdoor thing. And I knew it was going to rain, and we're watching I'm watching the radar, and it was supposed to rain as soon as they went on at 5 o'clock. But it's this back courtyard, and I came prepared. I had my umbrella, and I had some rain gear, and I had the iPad because now you don't need a soundboard anymore. You just need the iPad. It's got everything. It's amazing.
Right. Yeah.
Everything's on the
It's
iPad.
crazy.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
nuts. And I
Yeah.
just stood out there in the middle of the rain and it's pouring, and just, running. And they kept playing, and there were people under umbrellas, and, some people cleared out, but for the most part, everybody hung out and partied.
Yep.
And Greatest Wife Ever, was my designated drinker because I was working. So I didn't even have a beer. I had nothing. And, so she was yeah, I know. I think that
Wow.
might be one of the other reasons why I'm losing weight because I'm not
It's true. There are a lot of calories in the
not
alcohol,
drinking.
the adult beverages.
It's weird. It's not purposeful. I
No.
just didn't feel like having anything, and I was working.
Yeah.
I could have had a beer or two or whatever. I just didn't feel like it. Anyway, my point is that afterwards we were both hungry. So, it was all done. We wrapped up by 9 o'clock, and then we were getting out of there by about 10.
Yeah.
And we had already eaten like 6 hours ago. So it's like, I'm hungry. And I said, well, you know what?
Yeah.
You know what, baby? There's a McDonald's
Talk dirty to me.
right there. I'm saying Big Mac and fries
Oh.
and an unsweetened iced tea. And we
Oh.
went to that McDonald's and we pulled through, and she got a number 1, which
This
is
is
the Big Mac
the
meal.
Big Mac. Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
And I got
Number
a number
3.
medium. I got a number 2, which is the
Oh.
quarter pounder with cheese.
Oh, I thought that was 3.
No, it's a 2.
You're probably right. It's a
There's
2.
2A, 2B, 2C. They put bacon and all that crap. I
I'm
don't have
acting
any of
like
that.
I know this, but I happen to have ordered a Big Mac like over the weekend.
No way,
I had
dude.
stomach distress, and it
Oh,
was
no
like I
way.
need greasy burger. I need to
Oh,
go.
yes.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Now, we haven't been to McDonald's
Right.
since the beginning of the new year when we
Yeah. It's been a
decided
while
to
here too.
hadn't gone. Had not gone.
That's funny.
It was glorious.
I know.
It
Sometimes
was
those
glorious.
fries
The
and
fries were
oh,
too hot to handle. They
oh
had
yes,
just come out of the
yes.
fryer, and so much salt. It was
Oh,
perfection.
yummy.
Perfection. And I sat there because I always ate the fries first because I didn't want them to get cold.
Right.
There was an order to the way I did things with McDonald's. And I had the
Everyone.
quarter pounder
Yeah.
with cheese.
Mhm.
And Jennifer, greatest way I've ever had, the Big Mac. And if you'd have walked up from outside the car, you would have heard noises that would have embarrassed you. Because the good thing, because we pulled over into the parking lot and just sat there to
So
eat.
good.
I wasn't
Oh,
going to drive and eat. I wanted to enjoy it and
right.
savor it.
Good. Good for
And
you.
oh my God, it was amazing.
It's so true. You
It
know
was
what?
so good. I know it's
Oh,
bad for me.
it
I
is.
know it's horrible for
Yes.
me. I
Yes.
know it's terrible, but it was wonderful. And look, I said, and she and I both said that was fantasy because my tummy's happy. And I'm like, I'm happy too. I'm almost in tears. It was so good.
Yeah.
But then I said, you know what? We almost made it to June. We almost made it 6 months. So we won't go again until Christmas time,
Okay.
until the holidays, and then we'll go again, and then it's going to be just as wonderful. And it had the icy cold stingy Coke that was about the perfect carbonation, stinging me in the
Yeah.
brain.
And the big
Oh,
straw and the
right.
very syrupy. Oh, it's so good.
So good, so good. And
Unless you
then
get sick, in which case I will forgive you if you go and get a quarter pounder with cheese because you are allowed. If you like get the flu or something and you're
yeah,
recovering, nothing better than the day after you recover to go get a quarter pounder with
that's
cheese.
how my mom knew that I was getting well, because I was a sickly kid. I had strep throat.
Right.
I had
Right.
strep throat once a month, every month,
Yep.
or I
Yep.
had strep throat for 6 months straight, and it just got better, and then it didn't. Whatever. So she would always take me to Dr. Ray Hall and give me the 10-day needle. Always gave me a shot, penicillin, and I hated it. I
Blah.
hated needles, hated shots. Okay,
Yeah.
and so
The 10-day needle.
but if I was feeling better, I
Mhm.
begged her for a Big Mac. Can I
Huh?
please
Good.
have a Big Mac and French fries,
So
please?
good.
And mom was a soft touch. Okay.
Yeah.
She was my eating buddy. That's my eating buddy right there. And we just had Mother's Day, and
Okay.
that's one of the things. Mom and I would eat. We had a little bit of my dad only liked, certain things a certain way, and mom cooked the certain things a certain way for dad.
Yeah.
So when it came time for tacos or a sub sandwich, which I never had one until she bought me my first one when I was like, I want to say 13.
Right.
Mr. Mo's Subs, right across from Parker Field in Richmond, Virginia. And oh my God. Oh my, I've been chasing that high ever since. I've never had another one like it. I've never
Wow.
had another one like it. I don't know what it was. I don't know. It was an Italian cold cut, and it had peppers and sweet peppers and hot peppers and all that stuff. But anyway,
Mm.
I
Mm.
digress.
Mm.
So,
Mm.
in addition to that, Mother's Day was Sunday, right? And and so we daughter the elder came over and gave uh the greatest wife ever her gift, and then we decided, oh, I'm like, well, what do you want to do? You don't want to go out, and do you want to just stay in? What do you want to do? And I said, how about I'm like, I want to go. I want to cook for you. I don't cook. You cook now. And I used to cook all the time. And how about if I go get a section? No, I don't want a steak. I said, what do you want? And so we landed on Chinese food.
Oh,
So
more goodness. Mm.
again, and this is our favorite. This is our favorite restaurant. We used to order from them at least once a month, maybe sometimes like every other week. We did until we stopped.
Wow.
Yeah, we did. We did.
Mm.
They knew us. They knew us. They knew to throw chopsticks in. They would give us
Hello,
extra,
Mr.
all kinds of
Ross.
extra stuff. It's the
Thanks for
Rosses.
calling.
They
Yeah.
knew. We ordered the same thing all the time, except we got something different this time. General Tso's chicken, of course, is our go-to. And she got a spring roll, and I got an egg roll, and then I got the wings. The Chinese, it's the wings. And let me tell you, Chinese hot sauce is a lot different than buffalo sauce.
Mhm.
Oh,
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
good. So good. And then the ribs, which are ridiculous. They're anyway.
Everyone's cursing you right now.
I know General Tso's chicken, and then
Right.
we tried something new, which was the beef and garlic and ginger sauce, which was ridiculous. Anyway, and instead
Mm.
of steamed rice, we always get fried rice. But so Monday, I got on the scale. Monday, I
Oh,
stepped off the scale.
no. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, you should have
So
known better.
I'm working my way back into the program. I've been a good boy. I'm trying to trend down again
Okay.
and stay on it. As the greatest wife ever, she's cooking all the right things and she's getting
Mhm.
all the right oh, I have to tell you. So I did this for Mother's Day too. She has found this recipe for it's called a 2-ingredient dough. It's a dough. It's a regular dough. It's a bread dough, but it's
Okay.
made with 2 ingredients, and that is with unflavored or plain Greek yogurt. Okay,
Okay.
1 cup of that, and 1 cup of self-rising flour. Now, if you don't have self-rising flour, you can add baking powder and salt. Okay,
Okay. All right.
that's it. You don't have to let it rise. You don't have to proof it. You wait 15 minutes after you make it. Okay. And then
Okay.
you can make it in anything you want. She was making it into rolls. She made a pizza on it, except I used that recipe. She was asleep and I made everything bagels. Dude, they were bagels. It was
Really?
ridiculous. I had the everything spice, did the egg wash on top. It was so there was that on top of the Chinese food, on top of the McDonald's from the night before. And anyway, I don't regret it. I'm not sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. Every once in a while, you
I
gotta
enjoyed it.
go down that road. It's just like what in my travels over the next 6 weeks. I mean, when I'm off in Tokyo, I'm trying the cuisine. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm only going to be there
Oh,
once
yes.
ever,
Yes.
so
Well, I'm
probably
sending you videos, John, by the way. I'm going to send you videos
video.
of because
Yeah.
I love that's one of my favorite videos is the street food in Tokyo. So I'm going to
Okay,
send you
please do.
videos, huh?
Please do.
And see if I can find the address. I'm like, go here, try this.
Okay,
And it's not sushi. It's
John
just
tries. Yeah.
yes, John tries.
Hmm.
I'm gonna try to find the because I love watching those things and those cooks, and I know it's a greatest way ever. She hates that I love watching cooking shows. We were watching Top Chef last night, and then she turned on this other one.
Roll.
No. He's not on Top Chef.
Oh, okay.
He's not
Well,
on Top Chef.
that's Master
No,
Chef.
Gordon Ramsay does not get anywhere near the Food Network or anywhere near Bravo and Top Chef.
No.
Although some of those cooks have gone on to the Food Network
Okay.
and they have mentioned, Gordon Ramsay or whatever they were on this show, but they don't
Okay.
mention Master Chef. So
Yeah.
those two are like oil and water. And Guy Fieri. Guy Fieri is Food Network. Bravo is Tom Colicchio. And then you've got the Gordon Ramsay is on.
Speaking of
Fox.
Guy, I've
He's
never
Fox.
been to a Guy Fieri restaurant
Me
out
neither.
in the wild. No, I there was more coming.
Okay.
Never been to one where I thought the food was great.
Oh, so you've been to a Guy
I've
Fieri?
been to a couple, yeah,
A
and I
couple.
just thought they were kind of average, yeah.
Well, the one that I want to go to, I want to
Yeah.
try that. I want to try Chicken Guy because the chicken fingers look amazing.
Okay.
But
Chicken Guy.
and there's only one in where
It
is
was a
it?
while ago, by the
It's
way.
at Nationals Stadium, I believe.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's either there or it's in
Could have gone.
yeah. So there's and Greatest Wife Ever and I, we were huge aficionados. Well, no, huge fans, I should say, of Bar Rescue and John Taffer. John Taffer. And I've interviewed him a bunch of times. And I even said, dude, the Greatest Wife Ever and I, you've changed the way we walk into a new restaurant.
Yeah.
Because we're always looking at the cleanliness. And the first thing she does is look at the bathroom. And if the bathroom's not clean, then
well, then at that point,
the rest of the place,
that was a Chick-fil-A thing too, which is true at Katie, or Kathy, or whatever, however he said his name. I don't know. But that was his thing. Basically, if the bathroom isn't clean, well, then you know what the rest of the place looks like.
Right.
But let me say on Taffer, though, it was interesting. I saw a quote the other day on social media about John Taffer, and somebody was mocking him. And I thought this was not warranted at all. They said that since whatever he's been doing the show for like 10 or plus years, at least 15, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, they said that 50% of the places he goes into to save to date have failed after he went in there. And I said, that seems like a pretty good track
batting 500. Yeah, he's batting 500. I mean, that's pretty good average.
I mean, I'm like, do you watch the show? Have you seen the hot mess that is some of these owners? I mean, I think 50% is kind of miraculous. I expected it to be about a quarter.
And the owners, it's up to the owners to stay to keep with the program. And if they don't keep with
Yeah.
the program, then yeah, it's going to fail. And they change the name back, or they change this, or they like the previous name, or whatever.
Yeah.
The very famous one is from the first season with the Pirates restaurant, which was in Silver Spring, Maryland. I would pass it on the way into work,
Mhm.
and he changed it to a lunch because there's no nightlife around there. It was all
Right.
offices,
Yeah.
so he changed it to a restaurant called Corporate to cater to the lunch crowd
Yeah.
of all the restaurants and so on.
Right.
You can have a cat trying to get in,
That's all right. And they
and so um and the woman just wanted to, dress like a pirate and talk arg and, serve grog and all that stuff.
okay.
So
Yeah.
they
6 weeks
changed it to
later.
Corporate. It was huge. And as soon as Taffer left, they changed it all back. And guess what? They failed. They closed it. So,
I watched one the other night where they had a chef on there who was the source of like 80% of the problems. And he just didn't care.
right.
And they got it going. The menu was great. They had somebody else that was in there that was doing the food, and they were banging it out. And afterwards, you see, she hired the chef back
Of
after she
course.
fired him.
Yep.
Like, I'm
I
like,
imagine
yeah,
as
well,
soon as
that one's
Taffer left,
failing.
because that was the conversation you were not privy to with the camera, is that
Right.
she said, "Look, just leave. As soon as he's gone, we'll do whatever, and I'll bring you back." That's
Right.
exactly what they did.
Yeah. So,
And
that
but
didn't surprise me.
there's a success story though, and I brought it up whenever I talked to him. And there was a place in New Orleans, and he built
I went to that place.
okay, with the
It's the
lighted
place with
drink,
the lighted skull.
the skull, the lit skull.
Yes.
Well, what
Yes.
they did was they took his idea, they made it a little bit smaller,
Mm-hmm.
charged the same price.
Mm-hmm.
They found a place that would manufacture them for a lot cheaper, and
Okay.
just took his business and exploded.
Yeah, I have
Exploded.
one of those. Literally
Because
have one in my
okay.
bar cart
But here's what I
right
want to do.
now.
Now, Greatest Wife Ever did take me to when we were in Florida. She took
Yeah.
me to one of John Taffer's places.
Yeah.
And I recognized it. As soon as we walked, she said, "Do you know where you are?" And I looked in and I'm like, I read, "Oh my gosh, we're at the Tiki." Oh my God. It was like from season 1.
Right.
But there were some like old guys in there, who were trying to, they're talking to my wife, and
Hey,
I'm
hon.
like,
Hey,
all right, dude. I'm
beach.
like, dude, you just back off. And they
Hey.
were just a little nasty. These are the
Ugh.
barflies that are always there. Oh, let me tell you, when John Taffer was here, you know what they changed? I'm like, all right, you know what? Just chill. I just want to eat my fries, and
Right.
have a drink and just watch everything. But she took me to that one, and then which was great. And she's like that. She just comes up with these amazing things to do, and just like out of the blue. And like, hey, and it was a surprise too when I walked in. And then but so John Taffer has opened up a chain, and they're called Taffer's Taverns.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
and there's
Okay.
one in DC, dude.
Is there?
There's one in DC.
Did not
Now,
know
here's
that.
the deal though. And he's always talking about when he goes into a town about, looking at the clientele and looking at the median salary, and then looking
Yeah.
at, right? Okay.
Right.
And caters to, like, if there's an air base nearby, he caters to that or whatever. He's talking to the clientele. He's
Okay.
trying to get people to come in. And I'm looking at the menu for Taffer's Tavern in Washington, D.C., and he's got wings. Okay. Wings. Every restaurant's got wings.
Right.
But what would you have on the
Bay.
wings in this area?
Old Bay.
Old Bay. Guess what he doesn't have?
Old Bay.
Strike 1, 2, and 3, John Taffer. Sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude.
Right.
Sorry, you are in the Chesapeake region. You're on the Potomac River.
I mean, literally, the Hilton that I stay at up the street normally has wings, and one of the flavors is
Old Bay wings.
Bay.
Old Bay wings. They're,
you got it.
If you've never had them, they're amazing.
And by the way, get a sauce then to dip them in, like a hot Asian sauce or something, so you get the saltiness of it with the sweetness and
okay.
Yeah.
Did not even think about that. That's pretty
try
good.
That is
pretty
good.
good.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, but I also have to lay off the wings too. So, but anyway, I just thought that was interesting. So I had an appointment at the cardiologist last week because I had to get approved to do this other procedure. Blah blah blah. Long story.
Yep.
I booked the first appointment 8:30 a.m.
Good for
before
you.
it was the very first one.
Love
Okay.
doing that.
As I pull up at 8:25,
Mhm.
okay, I see employees are walking in. They're in scrubs. They're walking in the front door. They're ready for the day. I
Mhm.
walk in, and the waiting room about has about 10 people in it. All right,
At 8:30. Wow.
8:30, first appointment. I sign in.
Hmm.
Right, Ross. Arrival time 8:29. Appointment 8:30.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
have a seat, Mr. Ross. Thank you. Sat down.
Yeah.
Half hour. Half hour.
Waiting. First
Half,
appointment of the day.
first appointment of the day.
That should never
Why?
happen. You should be
Why?
right on time the first one.
Why?
Right.
Why?
I
Why
agree.
didn't I go back at 9? I'm sitting there and I'm just like boop boop boop, and I'm on my phone, of course, and they didn't even call me back until 9.
Hmm.
So at 9, I get in and the nurse takes all my vitals and runs an EKG and all that stuff. But again, it's another
Not
10-minute wait for the
I
doctor.
was gonna
I'm
say.
like, what?
Yeah. So, did you ask him?
So 40 minutes for my appointment, 40 minutes before I saw the doctor,
Okay.
40 minutes before I saw the doctor.
Right.
And I had the first appointment of the day.
Okay.
I specifically asked for the first appointment of the day, so I didn't have to wait. So they
Figuring
wouldn't
you'd
be
be in and
behind.
out. Yeah.
Right. So they
Right.
wouldn't be behind.
Yeah.
Today, took my dad to the doctor, go see the pulmonologist, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I go pick up my dad and drive him up. We are 20 minutes early. So we waited till it was 15 minutes early and then we went in. Okay.
Okay.
We went in, we sit there and there's nobody in the waiting room. His appointment was at 1:15.
Okay.
Nobody in the waiting room, or no, 2:15.
Got
Nobody in the waiting room. We're there at 2:05. He checks in. They're like, is this your address? Blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, Dad, I got to go to the bathroom. So I zip out of the office, go to the bathroom. I come back out
Okay.
of the bathroom and he's gone. They called him back
Oh,
10 minutes early.
good. Good.
What's the difference in this?
Different doctor?
I guess.
Yeah.
I think they're over to my cardiologist. They're overbooked. It's too much to handle. Because I don't even see my original guy anymore. They palm me off on other doctors. It is okay if you see this one or this one. I'm like, no, I see this doctor.
Yeah.
This is the guy I've been seeing for 9 years.
Yeah.
He's my doctor.
Right.
I don't want to see just any old doctor in here.
Yeah.
You know,
right?
If I'm the quarterback and I want to pass it to a wide receiver, I don't want to pass it to just like anybody who's wide, who's open.
Yeah, no.
I'm going to go to my guy.
Go to your star.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That was a bad analogy, but still, I don't.
Yeah. Well,
I don't
try to help you out there.
So I noticed this at the grocery store as I move on, as I've got like the ADD of topics. But I wrote this down because I saw it and I'm like, okay,
what?
I feel bad. I go to the grocery store, I pick up some things. I go to the self-checkout. Greatest wife ever does not get a self-checkout. Yesterday we were at the grocery store and I said, "Oh, this is self-checkout." And she goes, "I don't work here." I'm like, I know.
It's going to be
let's go into the other aisle.
Well,
we had a lot. We had a big cart.
Right. Yeah.
I got like 3 or 4 items or whatever, and I'm just getting kitty litter or something. Then I'm just going to go through self-checkout.
Got it.
Right?
Yeah.
Pull up the little pricing gun and boop, and I get my kitty litter and boop, I ring that up and, and then it's, ring out. I want to use my credit card. Go over to the credit card machine. First thing that pops up. Do you want to end hunger?
No.
Right.
No, I don't want to end world hunger.
Right. I feel like a POS because I just go, no, I don't.
No.
Apparently, I don't want to end hunger. No, I'm a bad.
You're a jerk. You're a bad person. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Now, when they do have the program for the food bank, and they have the bags, right?
Yeah.
And they have an empty bag, and you bring the bag through, and it's got a scan on it, and they boop, and they're like, "How much you want to do? $5, $10, $20 or whatever for." The Middletown Food Bank. I'll do that every single time I go.
Absolutely.
Every single time I go. But apparently, I don't want to end hunger because
like to end my hunger by checking out so I can go home.
How it was worded. It's not, do you want to help? It says, "Do you want to end hunger?" No, I don't.
No, sorry.
I'm sorry.
Not today.
So we had dinner. Speaking of hunger, so we had dinner, and there you go. God bless you, Jason. Jason from Crash the Limo, everybody, and yeah, get
Get
off my
off my
lawn.
lawn.
Okay, all right, Jason, you brought it up. I'm gonna say it, and I did this. I brought this up
Uh-oh, here we go.
20 years ago when I was working on the Hot Morning Mess with Mark and Chris on Hot 99.5, and I was the
Okay.
news guy, and I'm the oldest one of the bunch, so they always made fun of me as the old guy, but I was in my 40s, and
Now you really
and
are the old guy.
huh?
I said,
Yes, I was really the old.
now you really are the old guy.
No, I was in my 30s.
Yeah, I know, right? That was a
I was in
long
my
time ago.
30s. I was in my 30s, late 30s.
Yeah.
But anyway, I brought up the fact that we live in a circle. Actually, it's a court. It's a court. It's a court.
Right.
And we're in a townhouse, and we're in an end unit in a townhouse. So we're right on the curve. And the speed limit in my neighborhood, shut up, is 15 miles per hour.
Yeah. Right.
Not 50
Fifth.
as they two wheel around the corner. I literally had one time, and there's across the street from us, and in the center is a green space, and there's a children's playground. So guess where the children go? To the playground. How do they get there? Cross the street. Do they look? No, they don't look. So there was a kid who was coming down. I see a car that's coming at me. A kid's coming down the street, and he's ready to run right. And I'm literally ran to the end of my sidewalk, and I'm looking at the kid, and I'm like, "Stop!" And the kid's like, "Ah!" And then the car's looking at me, and I'm like, "Stop!" Everybody stops.
Okay.
And I told the kid, "Stay there." And I waved the car, and then I said, "Slow down."
Angry guy.
It's 15.
15.
There's a kid there. And then the kid came and he crossed the street, but he never looked at me again.
No, that's it. You were done.
I was yelling at the top of my lungs. It was a tragedy I was about to witness, but still, I've done that now with people as they're pulling around. I'm like, dude, slow down, slow it down. And I've even talked to the town because we work with them, with the police. We have a town officer who is headquartered here, and he's got an office, and he's from one of the Frederick County Sheriff's deputies, and we've had a series of them who are wonderful. And I'm like, you need to come in our neighborhood. You need to park up here and just watch. You're gonna get your quota. If you have a ticket quota in one afternoon.
Sorry, Mr. Ross, there is no such thing as
such thing as a ticket quota. But I was like, really? I said, am I going to catch you? I'm like, no, you're not going to catch me. I idle through the neighborhood.
I coast.
My eyes are darting left and right. I am deathly afraid of causing some serious harm to a child who runs out to get a ball or whatever. I am. It's just I can't handle it. So yeah, I do. Yeah, tell the people to get
You're
off.
that guy.
I'm the guy.
You're the guy.
Well, now I'm leaning into it. By the way, I hate that phrase. But now
you're the guy?
To lean into it.
Leaning into it. Yeah.
But now with the gray hair and the disheveled front lawn, and I look the part. So now it's shake my fist. Slow down. Whippersnapper.
Gosh.
I do.
It's okay. It's okay. I think we're all like that.
Are we?
A little bit. I mean,
I do not.
I get angry at people who I hold doors for and then don't say thank you.
Oh yeah.
What's the thing?
I guess.
Yeah. I mean, right?
Okay.
You're doing that, or when somebody's coming out and you're going in, and you just grab the door, you open it, and just graciously let them go through, and they don't so much as look at you. Like I'm the doorman, apparently. You know?
Right.
What is that about?
You know what I don't like?
Who are these people?
You
Who
know
are
what
these
I don't
people,
like?
Ron? Yeah,
And
you
we,
know what grinds my gears? Go ahead.
it grinds my gears. You know what's needling me? You know what's riding me?
What?
Is when okay,
Here we
I'm
go.
gonna make a left or a right turn.
Okay.
And of course, I get the green light and I'm downtown. I get the green
Hmm.
light.
Yeah.
But the pedestrians go first.
Right.
Okay. So
Yeah.
they've got the walk sign, and I gotta sit there with my turn signal on, wait and wait and wait. You know what? Pick up the pace. Pick up the pace.
Yeah. Could
Don't
you a
don't
little
don't
bit?
sit there and mosey on and look at me like, yeah, you gotta wait for me. Yes, I know I have to wait for you, because if I
Right.
ran into you, that would be a crime. However,
Vehicular manslaughter. Yes.
please, please pick up the pace. Or as the
Good job.
greatest wife ever has described to our grandson, scurry. You need to scurry.
Yeah. 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 Shuffle. Do
And
something.
yeah, but move it. Just
Yeah.
move it along.
I
Give
do
me
that.
time to get through the intersection.
I
But
do
then
that
nope,
all the time.
nope. They're like, oh, I can walk now. Dope
Yeah.
de dope de dope de do do de do de do. You want to turn? Uh,
Bringing home a
Stinks for you.
baby.
Dope de dope de dope. I'm halfway
Boldly.
across. Dope dope da dope da dope.
Ba-doop, 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 ba-doop. Ba-doop, ba-doop, ba-doop.
Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah. That irritates me too.
all right.
All
I
right.
think we're at a good time for us to. Oh, I didn't know it was going to turn to a into that, because I've got a lot of complaints. Greatest wife ever and I have now decided, we've looked at each other and went, yes, we understand angry elderly people. I understand. I understand. I get it. I get it. I
It's
do not.
true.
I do not suffer fools greatly. I was
No.
trying to get into work. I left late. My fault. Totally my fault. But I had plenty of time to get there on time to work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I very graciously, I pulled out of this, and I see another oncoming car, and I could have pulled out in front of him, made the left in front of him, but I very graciously hung back and let him get in front of me. And he proceeded
And
to do a crawl at a snail's pace, and it was killing me. So I figured I've adopted a new attitude where I'm just going to, I chill out, I hang back, I don't tailgate or any of that stuff.
right.
And I try to hang back and just be cool. Excuse me, hang on.
No, that's cool. Meanwhile, flick, 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 flick on the
No,
headlights.
no. No, I don't hit the lights. I don't do any of that. I hang back, right? Give him a lot of space.
Yeah.
Give him a lot of
Okay.
space, whatever.
All right.
Try to get into the music, whatever. I figure I'm
And
going to lose him when I go to the bypass. I'm going to go. There's a bypass. They're resurfacing alternate 40, so
oh,
I'm going to get past that,
right.
and because they got flagman, and that's a 19-minute
Ugh,
delay.
ugh,
19. I timed it. Sat there with my
ugh,
timer.
ugh.
Sat there
That's
with
as
my.
much.
Well, I just wanted to make sure I knew what I was talking about when I went on the air and talked about the
17 minutes.
delay. So I go.
Yeah.
There's a bypass. You
Okay.
go up this road, and you go up on the Braddock Mountain, and of course,
Yes.
tick, tick, he makes that left, and now he's in front of me. I'm like, oh, please, please, please. And I could feel the old DC driver creeping back in, because I haven't driven in
Uh,
like 5 years now. Driven down to Washington DC, actually longer than that, almost
yeah.
9 years,
Yeah.
because I was taking the train, and yeah, it was, it was it was horrible, because now I'm just really, I could feel my blood pressure rising. I could feel, and I'm like, and then he's going so slow that I gave plenty of time for this pickup truck with a big old like lawnmower trailer to pull out in front. So he's diesel. It's going to take him a
Yeah.
good,
Downshift.
yeah,
Downshift.
he's gonna get up to speed. So now this guy's backed up behind him, and I'm backed up behind me. And I look, and there's like 15 cars behind us. And I'm like, why,
Why?
why? And of course, he's in front of me every step of the way, because apparently he's going the exact same place I am. And when it came for the exit to the highway, and of
Mhm.
course, There's his turn signal. Like, oh, son of a gun, son of a
Son
gun.
of a gun!
So we get on the acceleration ramp to get up to speed because it's 70. So
Right. So
you have
you're supposed to use the ramp
to
to
get up to speed.
accelerate
That's
up to
called the
speed so you can
acceleration ramp.
merge,
Yeah,
right?
you don't merge over at 45 miles per hour.
Oh God,
Oh, and this
that
guy,
would
and he's
kill
like,
me.
he's got his turn, and I see that it's and it's 2 lanes. I see that it's clear, so I'm just like, I whip around, and I'm sorry, I was a jerk, and I just punched it, and I'm just looking at him as I drove. I'm like, oh my
Like,
god,
thanks, dude.
yeah, but I did. I made it right top of the hour. ID was running as I walked.
Oh,
Throw my headphones on. Okay, I got one song.
very nice.
Yeah,
You know what? I got sweet vindication this past week. Speaking of driving,
yeah.
my wife went up to Virginia for a family event. Unfortunately, it wasn't a great family event, but she had to go up
Oh,
there and do that.
I'm sorry.
Well, anyway, without going into it, bottom
Yeah,
line,
yeah.
she drove up to Myrtle Beach and then Myrtle Beach to Virginia. Her quote was, "I hate driving. Traffic stinks." And I'm like, yeah, well, it's a good thing you have a chauffeur. So,
Yeah.
I mean, typically I drive. She doesn't like driving. So,
Oh, no,
like
not
on
me.
highways, she'll drive around locally. Doesn't care about that. But highways or at night because she doesn't see so well. So she got to experience all the things, because she's usually the one in the passenger seat yelling at me like, "Oh, don't get so upset. Calm down." Like,
Oh.
just relax. We'll get there. And she's like, I was on the verge of cursing on the way. I'm like, yes, yes. So it's so good when
Vindicated.
yeah,
Yes.
vindicated,
No,
totally vindicated.
no, the greatest wave ever. Now I do drive on the highway, but
Yeah,
if it's not on the highway and we hop out and we're gonna go in her
yeah,
car, then
yeah.
I'm like, yep. She's like, you want to? I'm like, no, I do not want to drive.
I
I would
know.
love to be the passenger.
I
You
would love
please
for my
drive.
wife to drive
Please
more. Like,
drive, please
I
drive, please
please.
drive.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm like,
I
you
have
want to drive, drive,
no
please.
problem having her drive. And
No.
and she takes the long way around. She won't take the highway. And you know what? I don't care. Whatever. You drive the way you want to drive, baby. It's all you.
Yeah.
And thank you for shuttling me around. I've driven so much in my life. So,
Yeah, I know. I feel the same
by the
way,
way,
Rob,
tangent alert,
honestly.
tangent alert. So
Yeah.
I'm driving with my dad. I told you I took my dad to the doctor, right?
Mhm.
And I told him specifically that I took this other route. I don't go through Urbana because it's too built up and I hate it. And I know
Which
you
is where,
raised
by
your
the way,
family
John
there. I
used to
get
live.
it, but I get
No,
lost
that's why
in
we
there.
moved. I'm done with it.
Yeah. So I'm now in I decided to go through Newmarket, right?
Mhm.
So I go there to pick up dad, no problem. I pick up dad, we go to the doctor, no problem. I'm coming back this way,
Yep.
and all of a sudden, you know how you're the factory is dun, 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 and all of a sudden,
Yeah.
right lane that I'm in, and it's a mile to the exit, and it's a dead stop.
Yeah.
Dead stop. And we were just talking about traffic and driving and drive because he did it for 40 years, driving to Silver Spring from our house, Silver Spring, Maryland, which is a suburb, northern suburb of Washington, D.C. But I mean, you had
Yeah.
one highway, and then you had the highway that goes around D.C. that's called the Beltway. It's 495, but 270 is the major
Correct.
interstate highway that runs north and south up to the northern suburbs where we live.
Yep.
And yeah, so he did that every day. And we're sitting there in traffic, and I'm like, just like old times, Dad. We sat there in traffic, and I'm like, oh my God. And I literally pulled out my phone and I looked up, we weren't moving. And I looked on my phone, I went to Google Traffic, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's a crash. There's a crash on the other side.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna sit in it. It's all red. It was black, but now it's red, which means we're gonna move a little bit.
Yep.
But
Yep.
still sat in traffic again. And I'm just like, now this time I could relax. I could chill. I'm just taking dad home and everything was fine. And I didn't have to be anywhere to do anything. Everything was fine. But still, I hate when I have to get somewhere and I've left late and it's my fault. It's totally my fault. And I know it's my fault
Yeah.
for, quote unquote, running late or not mapping it out or planning it. appropriately. But then I swear, and I do. I hit every light, or I've got. Um, it's terrible. I just realized that I typed "bod boy." I meant to put "bad boy."
Yeah, I was wondering about that, but I wasn't going to bring it up. I just thought,
It
maybe
was
it was
"bad
something
boy" because I
related.
had McDonald's over the weekend.
Well,
That's
bod boy is a whole other thing that you're feeling it in the bod
yeah. Well, okay, yeah,
because of.
that's true. That's
So
a
I wasn't
got it.
sure if you were going for something there, but no. You know what? I
No, I
think
wasn't. I was
prior.
going for the spelling, which is what I
So
did.
I think this is one area where technology has probably helped a little bit in
Yeah.
that programs like Waze, as we call it, Waze. Um, like you actually, my dad, my father calls it
Yeah.
Wazy.
Yeah.
Like he
Wait.
mispronounces everything. Bogest,
Oh,
you know, like
dude,
he
don't get
just,
me started on my fatherisms. My dadisms.
I swear he
Please.
purposefully
That's a whole
mispronounced
other show. A
everything. We
whole
ought to
other
talk about
show.
our dads at some point.
You would call the FSK Mall. Well, we're doing it for Father's Day weekend. But the FSK Mall was always the Patrick Henry Mall. I'm like, Dad, it's not. It's
Not
not.
that
It's not Patrick Henry.
it's not
Not-
Wazy. Anyway, what I was going to say is basically, I think it's better now that you at least have an idea of how long you're going to be sitting in traffic. Like,
right. Right. Right.
because it kind of relieves that pressure of going, I might be here an hour and a half. No, well, you're probably only going to be there 17 minutes, you know. So I think it helps a little bit at
I
least.
I told Dad today. I said that I was driving down 270 going into work
Yeah.
early in the morning. I was working on a morning show, and I must have been Sirius XM or XM at the time, whatever.
Mhm.
But just below Shady Grove Road, what's the exit beyond that? It's I don't remember what it is. Anyway, there was a truck on fire, and it just happened, but it was the cab fully engulfed in flames, and it's under an underpass. All right, so it's hitting, what is that, Goody Drive, I think they went over. Anyway, it's hitting the underpass, flames just 20, 30 feet in the air, and it just happened because there was nobody stopped or slowed. I mean, I was up to
Yeah.
speed, got all the way over to the left, and I could feel the heat in my closed car from that. And this is how bad it was. All I wanted to do was get around the accident before the traffic backed up because I had to get to work. And I called 911 and she goes, truck fire? I'm like, yeah. She goes, all right, we got it. And I said, great. And then I just took off and I was just so happy that I got on the other side of this because
Yeah.
it was horribly bad. It was
Yeah.
really, really bad.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I felt bad afterwards. In the moment, I was like, "Okay, let me get past this so I could get get
Right.
to work." Isn't
I
that
know.
terrible? That's a terrible frame of mind to be in of just, self-preservation. I don't want to get stuck in this. And then one time I was going into work and I got stuck because there was an overturned tractor trailer jackknife and it was a chemical spill. So they shut down the inner loop of the beltway. Whole thing shut down. And I sat in it, and they had just reopened it. So like two lanes were getting by to the right, but you could
Yeah.
smell it in the air because they had
Yeah.
put something down for the chemical. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was bad. But seriously, I had to call the boss in New York. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna, just
Not
it's
gonna
just gonna
make
be
it.
rolling music. That's why we have computers. Let's do it. Because I'm not gonna make it there. I didn't make it there until I was supposed to be on the air at 6. I'm supposed to be there at 5:30. I didn't make it there until 6:30. It was weird. That was,
I
but no.
I I had that happen once coming home from Washington D.C. going back out to I think it was Urbana. It might have been just Germantown, but there was a gas leak
Ooh,
somewhere along 270.
yeah.
Both lanes of 270 shut down,
Yeah,
and I got off thinking I'm going to go around it. And again, this is before Wazy, so you had no idea. And then
Waze, yeah.
heard,
You're not your father.
Wazy's awesome.
You're not your
Uh,
son.
then I heard, I think on the radio, them announce that it was a gas leak. So I'm diverting, rerouting, all this kind of stuff. It took me 4 hours to get home from Shady Grove to Urbana.
Oh, oh.
Or it's literally a 20-minute drive.
Yeah, yeah,
Everything with just because it's a major interstate. How many
sure.
lanes is 270s? 3, 3, 6 plus 2 local lanes.
Correct. On both
So
sides. on both the 2 local lanes on both sides.
3, 4, 5. So it's a 10 lane
10 lane highway.
road
Yeah.
that then narrows down ultimately to
2 branch off to go in the Beltway to the 270 split to go into Northern Virginia.
No, going north
2 and
to
2. Oh, north.
Frederick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Oh,
goes from 10 lanes to 4 lanes.
I don't even want to talk about that.
Yeah, that
There was
they've never
everybody's.
expanded that.
I'm in line and everybody's riding up on the right. I'm like, no, get in the line. They were doing it today on the highway. They were riding up on the left to get on the exit. And I've been sitting in the exit now in the exit line for 1 mile. And these people are zipping up with their turn signal on and they pull alongside me. I'm like, And I get right up on.
Nope.
Not going to let them in. Nope. But the car in front of me let him in. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
You caved. You blinked.
Hey, we need to get to the QOD because we're running out of time here.
All right. Well, it's time to get the gray matter working. Fire off the synapses, engage frontal lobe, form new neural networks, utilize the cerebrum. As Pooh says, it's time to
think.
Ding! It's the question of the day, playing for pride, not prize.
Okay.
And away we go. All right. Today's QOD. May I have your attention, please?
Yes.
In 2004, it was 2.5 minutes. Years later, it was 73 seconds, and now it's down to 47 seconds. What is it? May I have your attention, please?
Okay.
In 2004, it was 2.5 minutes. Years later, it was 73 seconds, and now it's down to 47 seconds. What is it? All right, put your answers in the comment section, and good luck.
I should have downloaded the music. Boo, 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 boo,
all right. No, you don't have to sing. You don't have to sing. It's okay. It's all right, Jeff.
I could have done it.
I am all fired up now about all that talking about traffic. I
know.
Like, and none of that's on here. None of that was on what I wanted to talk about.
What happened? Holy moly.
Well, we went off on a tangent.
I want to know about the high performance toothpicks.
Yes, we have toothpicks, right? We have toothpicks.
Yes.
And I go and get them. We have them stashed and it's a pick on one end, and then it's got that little bit of floss, kind of like a little 1-string violin. Bing, 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 bing. You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
Okay. Yeah. I look at the package as I go to get one, and it says it's a high performance toothpick. I'm like, what is a low performance toothpick? I'm like, is it blunt on the end? If it's low performance, you can't get it in there.
I know I don't want any of those low performance.
It's low performance. It's not clearing anything at all. We had so great. My daughter made ribs tonight. She made these, and she bakes them in the oven, and she puts them in. I gave you a clue, Jim. I gave you a clue at the beginning of the question. In fact, I almost gave you the answer in the beginning of the question. So
come on, Jim, figure it out.
He's got it. No, he's got it. He just read the question as it went across the bottom. So now he's got it. I guarantee you he's got it.
Come on.
And so she made these ribs. She braces them in this and put all this spice on it. It's amazing, right? And so I had it right before I came up here, and she goes, "You might want to, get a toothpick before you go to work." I said, "Yeah." Or I go into your podcast. I said, "Yeah," because all of my pockets are sealed. I can feel it's solid.
Oh, Ariel asked one.
Yeah.
Like you knew
everything.
You're gonna do some digging.
Everything's got. There's like half a rib in there. Or there was. There was.
Oh no, I hate that. I love ribs and I love corn on the cob, but
I know the aftermath. Yeah. Same thing with popcorn too. I got to sit there. I almost need a water pick. I'll sit there. We're watching TV. We're eating popcorn, and then I get a glass of water. It's like a full mouth. I'll just keep flushing it around, trying to get all the husks and out.
Well, I'm sitting here. I had a Cuban sandwich before coming up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pork, same thing.
And now you're feeling it.
Like I'm like,
okay. See, I had a toothpick that I was starting at the beginning of the podcast. I'm like, no, I'm not going to pick my teeth on the podcast. It's horrible.
Ron, are we going to go without an answer to our question?
No, not at all. It's why we don't have any answers.
Zero. We have a clue, and that's it.
You don't need a clue, because I gave you one at the beginning. I gave you the answer. May I have your attention, please? Your attention.
Oh,
Span. Please.
anyone,
In
Bueller,
2004, it was 2.5 minutes
Bueller.
later. Years
It's
later, it
like,
was 73
it's
seconds.
like, so you
Celeste.
guys are letting us down tonight. What?
No, they're not letting us down.
Thank you, Jesus.
There you go. Thank you,
Kick
Celeste.
us up, kick us good, Celeste.
Thank you.
Thank
Nice.
you for saving us.
Technically, it was looking at a screen. You can look at a screen. Oh, that's a good answer, Jim. Time on
Actually,
hold.
that is a good
That's a
answer.
great answer, but no, that's
Yeah.
not it. Celeste was right. It's time looking at a screen. You can look at a screen and concentrate for 2.5 minutes years ago.
Mhm.
That concentration time has gone down to 73 seconds, and now it's at 47 seconds. It's terrible.
Wow.
And it's because of the effect of the digital media on the attention span. And that's what got me into the discussion with John before we started this.
I'm sorry,
About
what?
about multitasking.
Ron and I had a little conversation about this, and I argued that for very short spans, I was not talking about minutes. I'm literally talking maybe 10 or 15 seconds, that it is possible to multitask, that you can hear and process what's coming. Look, he's not even paying attention.
Really? Am I not? What am I doing? I'm listening to you and I'm reading my phone. But which one was I doing actually, John? Because
I
if
don't
I was
know.
listening to you,
He's
I
getting
wasn't reading my phone. I was not, the words were not processing in my
angry, Ron.
brain. No, I'm not angry at all.
Angry Ron
I'm
Ross.
correct, Ron, because there's no such thing as multitasking.
There we go.
There's no such thing. It's not a thing.
Squirrel.
Unless it's something automatic and you want to bring it up and just say, oh, well, I'm chewing gum. Yes, that's correct. If it's something automatic, you know, oh, I'm breathing. Yes. Okay. Yes. But you can't be in a Zoom meeting and read an email and do both at the same time. As soon as you read that email, you're not paying attention in the Zoom meeting. If you're on the Zoom meeting, you're not reading the email. That's just it. It's plain and simple. It's easy. As I was looking at my phone, John, I was listening to everything you said. And I was trying to read the very first banner that I had.
You're a very angry elf.
I'm not angry. I'm not angry. See the smile? The smile's not from anger. And I was trying to read the very first thing, the first banner I have here on the top of my phone, and I could not read it. You know why? Because I was listening to you and what you were saying.
But somehow I managed to text.
As soon as I started to read, and you did not
listen to what you said,
John.
Yes,
No, you didn't.
See,
no, you have.
When do you know what one of my pet peeves is, folks? When people call me by my first name a lot.
You have listened to me, person I know
Ron.
very well. I'm
yes,
sorry.
you do, Ron.
Well, I didn't know that was one of your pet peeves. I'm sorry.
No problem, Ron.
Well, no, I didn't mean to.
No, I don't mind, Ron.
Okay, it doesn't bother me, John. You can try. Oh, I said it again.
Say you did it again.
I didn't mean to. It doesn't bother me. So you can keep doing it.
All right. Anyway,
I'm sorry about that. I did
no,
not.
actually, that's the thing
that
with
was one of your pet peeves.
no, like with salespeople. I don't like that when they're familiar with you on the phone and they've never met you.
Well, you know, or they call me Ronald. I'm like, yeah, no, you're done. That's not.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. No, it's Mr. Yaglenski to you.
Yeah, it's Mr.
And
Ross.
if you can't pronounce that, you say, "Hi, sir. Thank you for the talk."
And then
get off my
lawn. Brought it back around.
Yeah.
All right. Let's punch out. It's 8:00. Let's let these fine folks go.
Oh, yeah.
Another glorious podcast. However, I want to ask you next week.
Yeah.
What are we feeling?
We're on target for next.
We're on target. All right.
And we're
all right, beautiful.
And the following Tuesday will be the day before I go to Tokyo.
Okay.
So we're good for that Tuesday as well. So,
the next 2 weeks. Okay.
Yeah, we're good the next 2 weeks. Then after that, I don't know. We're gonna have to figure out time zones.
All right. I'm trying to think if I'm going to be back from Memorial Day camping. Not necessarily. I don't. You know what? I'll let you know.
Cool.
I'm Memorial Day. We're camping, but that'll bring that up next week's podcast.
Memorial
All right.
Day.
Huh?
Memorial Day. When is
that's
that?
Right. John doesn't camp. John don't camp.
No, I don't.
Memorial Day is next weekend, John.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Memorial Day is next weekend. Unofficial start of the summer.
That's right.
There it comes.
And then by the time I'm done my travel, it will be Independence Day.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, you'll be back just in time?
Yeah, I'll be back. Yeah, and Mama and Papa Yags are coming down.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Or whatever. Whatever they do.
Well, yeah. I got to get that video together. Find a bunch of videos to send to you for the street food.
Yeah, I would like to see that.
Yeah.
And I'll tape some segments that we can post.
You have to.
I will.
You have to, John.
I will do that.
I'm traveling. I'm trusting you. I'm traveling vicariously through you and then later through a daughter of the younger.
Okay.
So you got to do all the things that I want to do. Oh, you definitely when you're in, what is it? Tokyo?
Tokyo.
Tokyo Disney.
Yeah, I'm going to do Tokyo Disney and Tokyo Disney Sea. Going to do them both.
Nice. Oh, this is very exciting.
I'm
very happy for you, John. Sorry. I'm very happy for you. Period.
I'm starting to get stressed out about it, but
are you?
Honestly. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a lot of travel. It just is. Even though I'm excited about going to Tokyo, but it's the other places and the other weeks worth of travel on top of all that are happening around it. So
you have Seattle next week?
Seattle, Tokyo, Sioux Falls.
Wait a minute, Sioux Falls after Tokyo?
Yep. And then
you're gonna love Sioux Falls
and then
Tokyo, because that's gonna be a drop in the bucket, and you're like, oh, this is great.
And then Toronto.
And then out of the country again.
Twice awesome. Out of the country in 6
weeks. Look at you. All right.
I know.
I'm very excited for this. Very excited.
It's too much.
No, it's fine. It's perfect. And then when it's done, you're good for like another 6 months. And then something's in the fall.
No, it's happening in the fall. Not 6 months, unfortunately. I travel every month. You know that. Anyway.
Well,
and then in the fall, it's England and Ireland, and I don't know where our board meeting is. There's another board meeting in November.
Can't you just Zoom that?
No. This is physical production with cameras producing commercials.
I know. I'm giving you a hard time.
I know.
I'm giving you a hard time, John.
It's good.
Sorry, I said your name again. You know what? I realize I do that a lot, and I apologize if
I'm actually okay with it in the flow. It's when somebody's mad at me and starts saying my name, I start feeling like it's my mom or my dad.
I see. All right. Well, when I'm in an animated conversation, I will. I'll try my best to remember to refrain.
Don't use my
name.
Want
to. I don't like the. I don't like triggers. One of my big triggers is interrupting me. Don't do it. Don't do it. I will keep saying that sentence over and over and over again until you stop talking and you hear what I have to say. I've done it. It's rude and I'm obnoxious about it, but you interrupted me. So don't do it.
I'll keep that in mind.
Okay, good. So now we have our rules.
Good. Ground rules laid.
You're looking at a couple of Polish guys, and this is how we communicate. We're very loud, but we love each other very, very much.
Yeah.
That's one of my bestest buddies ever. All right, listen, please take care of yourselves and each other. Please be safe. We're going to be on target next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, 11 a.m. on Tuesday. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Thank you so much. Make sure you click those subscriptions and buttons, whatever it is. Follow,
tell a friend,
do all the things. And we love you so much. Please take care of yourselves and each other. Please be safe. John Yaglinski, Ron Ross. Love you, mean it. Bicycle.
Bye-bye.